How do I test fuel injector pulse? If you are curious about how to test fuel injector pulse in trucks and 18-wheelers, you are in the right spot. Understanding this process is essential for maintaining optimal truck performance. The fuel injector pulse is the rapid opening and closing of the injector, controlled by the engine control unit. This pulse allows the right amount of fuel to enter the combustion chamber. Let's break down how to test this pulse effectively. First, you can perform an audible test, often called the click test. Grab a long screwdriver or a mechanic's stethoscope. Place it against the injector body and put your ear on the opposite end. With the engine running or cranking, listen for a consistent clicking sound. If you hear a steady click, the injector is pulsing correctly. If there is no sound or irregular clicking, that indicates a problem with the injector pulse or the injector itself. This method is quick and handy for field diagnostics. Next, you can use a test light or a multimeter. Start by locating the injector electrical connector. Backprobe the injector pulse wire, which is usually the control wire coming from the engine control unit. Connect your test light or set your multimeter to measure voltage. When the engine is running or cranking, the test light should flash, or the multimeter should show a pulsing voltage signal. If there is no pulse, you may have an issue with the wiring, the engine control unit, or the injector driver. For a more precise method, consider using an injector pulse tester tool. These specialized tools connect to the injector harness and can simulate injector pulses or measure actual injector pulses. It is best to test one injector at a time. Reconnect the injector harness and start the engine before moving to the next injector. This approach prevents flooding or hydrolocking the engine, making it a recommended practice for in-depth diagnostics. Lastly, you can conduct flow and dynamic pulse testing. This involves removing the injectors and testing them on a flow bench. For a static flow test, hold the injectors open at a set fuel pressure, like 43.5 pounds per square inch, for a fixed time to measure fuel flow. A dynamic flow test pulses the injectors at different duty cycles and pulse widths to simulate real engine conditions. This method checks both the pulse operation and fuel delivery performance. If injectors fail these tests, they can be cleaned and retested or replaced if defective. When testing fuel injector pulse in trucks and 18-wheelers, remember that large diesel engines often have multiple injectors. Testing each injector individually is essential. Using diagnostic tools that interface with the truck's engine control unit can help read injector pulse signals directly. While the audible click test is great for quick checks, it may not catch subtle pulse issues. Always take proper safety precautions to avoid fuel leaks or engine damage during testing. If any injector shows no pulse or an irregular pulse, further inspection for wiring faults, engine control unit issues, or injector failure is necessary.